Yes, everybody, welcome back to Talking Wolves. Another brand new update video today. Hope you guys are keeping well and safe. Unfortunately, I am back in the UK after a lovely little trip to Spain. Appreciate the support on the last few videos. It's been really good recently. But once again, we've got some more news. It seems like we're getting finally a little bit closer to some signings. But we'll obviously jump into all of that today. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And yeah, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It does mean a lot. Some more minutes in the legs for Wolves as well today. They've revealed a couple of 60-minute games against Blackpool today. First half, you would assume, would have been a stronger team with predominantly the first team in there. It was a 2-0 win. Pablo Sarabia scoring a free kick. And Mateja Sasic once again getting on the team sheet with a Nathan Fraser assist in there as well. Second game didn't go quite as well. It was a heavy 4-0 defeat, predominantly made up of players coming back from fitness, under 21 players, and a returning Sasha Kalajdzic, which is great news. A player obviously we weren't quite sure when he was going to be back, but the fact that he's on the pitch getting some minutes is obviously great. The players are now going to be going off to Portugal, back to Portugal at the end of this week, and of course in preparation for their game against Porto in about 5 days' time, or 6 days' time, I should say. But hopefully Wolves can get another player or two in before the trip. One of those is set to be Matt Doherty. He's in Wolverhampton today. He's had his medical at Wolves and he's set to sign a 3-year deal back at the club. Again, I've already given my thoughts on this one. I think we will do, and I'll do another video tomorrow, assuming it's confirmed fairly soonish, and we'll get the thoughts, Spurs perspective from this as well. But Matt Doherty set to join Wolves, 3-year deal. Some people think that's slightly too long, but we'll obviously wait and see on that one. Another player, a lot of experience that Wolves have been linked to today, fresh links, is Aaron Cresswell from West Ham United. Really interesting, this one. On paper, it seems like the left-hand side of the Wolves' defence is quite strong, but I suppose when you take into account Johnny may well be moving on. Totti was sort of can play centrally as well. Ryan Aït-Nouri and Ryan Giles, I suppose their future's up in the air. But yeah, Aaron Cresswell, initial bid of 2.5 million from Wolves has reportedly been rejected. West Ham are holding out for closer to £5 million, which I think due to Cresswell's age is probably something I'd be a bit dubious about going up to 5 million, if I'm completely honest. Look, I think he's a good player, some fantastic experience, not bad set-piece taker as well. Lopetegui historically does like a slightly older squad. You can see by many of the squads he's used previously, he tends to have a slightly older average age. At the moment, Wolves are sort of all over the place. You know, there's not a great mix of, we've got a lot of youth players, probably players that aren't quite ready for regular Premier League football, and then we've got probably players that just aren't quite good enough at the moment. So obviously it's up to Lopetegui and Matt Hobbs and so on to get sort of a mix of everything in there right now, and it looks like this is what they're going to try and do. But we'll wait and see on this one. I'd be surprised if Wolves go up to the £5 million. But yeah, let's wait and see on that one. Bendigoods Boller is one of the players that we never seen kick a ball for Wolves, if I'm completely honest. He's been out on loan at Grasshoppers. He joined a couple of years ago, but it's said that he is obviously looking to leave this summer. One of the teams interested are Trabzonspor in Turkey. They're reportedly in contact with him as he is set to leave the club. So you again expect Wolves to get a few million in for him and make a little bit of a profit on. I think it was €2 million that they'd spent on him previously. A bit of an update on Nico Elvedi. He's a player that I'd spoken about in the last video. Again, mixed sort of reports. Sources here in England suggest that Wolves are in advanced talks with him about signing him from Borussia Mönchengladbach. Other reports in Germany don't think it's as advanced as that, but negotiations are definitely underway. An agreement apparently is foreseeable. Now, an interesting one that came from German publication Blick yesterday is that Elvedi's long-term girlfriend had actually flown out to Wolverhampton at the start of this week to have a mooch around and has given the thumbs up. She's happy with the move to Wolverhampton, so I'm sure, you know, it's got her seal of approval, so I'm sure we're more than halfway there. But Nico Elvedi, I'd assume, you know, under £10 million. I think it's a really smart piece of business. And again, if that one does come to fruition, we will have some content out on him and a closer and better look at the player as well. Sticking on the subject of centre-backs, Napoli and Max Kilman. It's reported in Italy today that Napoli are still not giving up on their pursuit of Max Kilman. It's reported that Napoli are still in talks with Wolves. They're going to see and wait a little bit longer to see if they can squeeze a little bit more out of Wolves in terms of can they get that asking price down. They've reportedly offered around 35 million euros. Wolves want at least 40 million euros. So Napoli are trying to find some sort of agreement. But at the moment, it looks like Max Kilman's staying. Wouldn't surprise me to see him being made captain as well. So, and obviously a new contract from Wolves is still on the table for him. Mateja Sasic, I feel a little bit sorry for Sasic. He had a deal agreed to move to Stoke City, something that, we'd spoken about on the last couple of videos. But the signing has now fallen through. There has been some more information on this over the last 24 hours or so, and it sounds like Stoke City have moved the goalposts on this one at the last minute. Apparently a medical was passed, a fee agreed between the two clubs, but then Stoke City, with the contract, changed some of the things that were agreed, such as payments and add-on, and clauses and so on. So yeah, Mateja Sasic disappointed, and now Stoke City have moved on to different targets, and it looks like he will not. Mateja Sasic will not be joining Stoke City this summer. So Wolves again have got another player there who's not part of the plans that they're going to have to try and move on. Nico Gonzalez was somebody that I'd mentioned a couple of videos ago as well. It looks like he's going to be leaving Barcelona this summer. He's not part of their tour of the US. And now he's got offers from several clubs across Europe. So his agent is handling offers from Spain, Portugal and England. The only English club that have been mentioned in the particular article by Mundo Deportivo is Wolves. So at the moment, it sounds like Porto's interest in him is a lot more advanced than anybody else's. But other clubs such as Wolves are just waiting now to hear what the player's decision will be. But like I said before, I think if the Alex Scott deal comes to fruition, I don't think Nico Gonzalez is particularly going to be a priority for Wolverhampton Wanderers. In terms of Alex Scott, no real new news as of yet. Obviously, the second bid was rejected. I'm hoping that there's some more news on him over the next 24 hours or so, because I think Wolves will be trying their best to get some of these deals through the door before the next trip to Porto. So Nico Gonzalez, nothing happening as of yet there. Another player that could be leaving on loan is Ollie Tipton, predominantly the under-21s captain for most part last season. He went with the team for their trip to Portugal as well, I believe. But it looks like they're going to be letting him go out on loan. He played actually as a trialist for Notts County last night, and actually a really good game by the sounds of things. So it's likely that he's going to be going out on loan, and Notts County are one of those teams. It's actually become, I didn't really realise, it's become quite a common thing for teams wanting to loan players for them actually to go and train with them for a little bit, or try, go out on trials for them. I've heard of things previously. Nathan Fraser, Harry Birtwistle, I've heard of those actually going out to Football League clubs to train with them before actually signing them, and obviously nothing has come to fruition as of yet. But I'm sure Nathan Fraser, if Fabio Silva decides to stay, or will sort the attacking options out, I'm sure Nathan Fraser will be allowed to go out on loan. I'm sure after a really solid pre-season, he won't be short of suitors. And to finish off as well, some good news in regards to the backroom staff. There's lots of changes for Wolves this summer with the backroom staff. We've already seen a brand new under-18s manager. We've seen certain members of staff leave, come and go. But one of the people that are returning is Phil Haywood. He is quite a popular figure with Wolves fans in general. There was a lot of praise with this one. It sounds like he's been part of the club, as part of the club for a little while now. But his training ground guru had put an article out yesterday in regards to certain changes that Wolves have made. But Phil Haywood has returned to Wolves as head of high performance. So a really welcome addition once again to the backroom staff. Somebody that is familiar, had a great track record. You know, we had a phenomenal injury record in that year. We got promoted back to the Premier League under Nuno, and Phil Haywood was obviously a big part of that. So fingers crossed, things like that can get sorted once again. But guys, that is all for today's video. Hopefully things move, and I'm sure they will do. Even tonight we'll have more news and stories, so be sure to follow us on social media at Talking Walls on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and obviously subscribe to us here on YouTube to keep you up to date and give my thoughts on the news as well. As always guys, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you all very, very soon.